A good friend of mine asked me to respond to this video.
Habibti, listen to me carefully. This and this, no good. Doesn't make sense. This and this, no good. Doesn't make sense. But this and this makes sense. Oh, it's charging. Makes sense. صح ولا لا? This and this makes sense. I mean, not that I'm saying, one should go in 2, 3 different. I'm just giving you an example.
That is a good argument for monkeys. Now, in difference with monkeys, we humans have advanced moral philosophy. Simplifying complex issues might be useful with prerequisite that we keep the essence. Oversimplifying things that result to a misrepresentation of the issue or a false analogy means that we are simpletons.
Simpleton.
Simplifying is only useful when it relates to efficiency. Not everything simple is efficient. Now, when it comes to homosexuality and whether it's good or bad, we must attempt to make a fair analysis with an outlook on well-being. Human well-being is actualizing our individual and communal and collective, let's say, potential to become better. But what is better? Better or worse are scales that represent how close we are to a set objective or description. In that sense, they are not subjective. Let's ask ourselves, who is taller, John or Bill? The subject of this analysis is height. So we can objectively say John is taller than Bill. Now, in relation to better and worse, the investigative subject is the human condition in this world. The human condition in this world is our physiology that includes our immaterial self and how all this relate to our given environment, including, of course, and the collective, the sociology, okay? So there are things that objectively advance our human condition in this world and other things that objectively degrade the human condition in this world. The first we call good, the second we call bad. Are they good and or bad in an absolute sense? No, they aren't. They are good and or bad from a perspective. Are they, therefore, subjective or arbitrary? No, because when the scope or the perspective becomes detailed, it relates directly to one mental essence or Platonic representation. Okay, so it's not subjective. When we narrow the mental scope, although still in perspective, meanings are now absolute, simply because our mind is ordered. But anyway, now I went to tangents very far. Okay, so let's return to homosexuality. When we ask ourselves whether homosexuality advances or degrades the human condition in this world, we must contemplate all things or most things that serve well-being. Some are virtue, physical, psychological and mental health, education, family, love, social health, freedom, preservation of culture, art, actualizing our potential to create beautiful and useful things, preserving nature. Okay, so, but because well-being is a very complex issue, is useful to have a simple principle. We don't need to unnecessarily oppress people. We must let the human spirit free to reach its potential. There is no apparent reason why we should make homosexuals feel guilty, confused, or things like that, or oppressed, or prosecuted. There is no apparent reason. We have more significant things to worry about in this life instead of plug, one plug doesn't meet other plug. Imagine if humans, we degrade humans in this level. Yes, we are just tools. Bravo, you got it. Congratulations. Let me make a stand ovation. So, Christianity, that is in fact a smart religion, says homosexuals are also in the image of God. And although in the Bible homosexuality is a sin, Jesus condemned the sin, not human nature, not people. Okay, so that is smart. Now, in secular morality, the only morality that actually matters, and I will tell you the reason, because secular morality relates to our conscious state. And it's irrelevant whether we are wrong or right. Okay, it's if we think we are right, that is enough for us to be good people. Because morality simply relates to our conscious state. So that is the reason only secular morality matters. Either way. So in secular morality, which is reducing unnecessary suffering and promoting well-being in this world, and exactly because, as I described, well-being is a very complex thing, the objections against homosexuality are very petty in comparison to the other picture I described. So the scale cannot turn with petty stuff like plug. How can you turn well-being? All the other stuff of well-being, education, virtue, love, freedom, and what is the argument on the other side? We have pennies, vagina, pennies. Okay, you cannot turn the scale with this kind of nonsense, with this shallow stuff. So, homosexuality is fine. But there is a but. Toxic LGBT, in other words, when homosexuality becomes a dogma, a Marxist type of ideology that seeks to corrupt society with promiscuity, sexualizing children, or insisting children should be able to change their gender and make, I don't know how they call all this stuff, and attacking truth with claims that there are more than two genders, or there are many pronouns and all this kind of stuff, then that affects directly our well-being. And then it becomes immoral and problematic. Okay, but that is the case with everything. Secular humanism can become toxic. Religion can become toxic. So we need to separate LGBT, or I don't know these terms anyway. So we need to separate homosexuality as the noble pursuit of equal rights against the law of homosexuals and counter the prejudice against homosexuals with toxic LGBT, which is a dogma, which is an ideology, like Marxism. So we need to separate those two. What I've noticed is people who attack homosexuality with arguments against toxic LGBT. That is like me attacking Christianity with arguments against the KKK. Makes no sense. Or attacking atheists with arguments against Stalin. It's simply stupid. Thank you very much.